Breaking tonight, clashes in the streets of downtown LA as armed federal agents take multiple people into custody during a series of immigration enforcement raids.
The sweep's drawing harsh criticism from state and local leaders as local law enforcement making it clear they were not involved. Good evening, I'm Micah Ullman.
And I'm Cher Calvin. We have live team coverage on this Friday.
All right. Peace and love to everybody in the building, man. It's your brother, Big Aboriginal Power. You're now turned into About News, man. This is the original channel over here, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Share the live stream, man. It is crazy, man. A mass ICE raid in California, you guys. This is absolutely insane. ICE is back on their job, man. I think illegal immigration is an absolute issue in America, and we're gonna get into this whole story of what's taking place down here in Southern California. These protests that's popping off. This all took place after a mass raid at a construction site in LA was hit by ICE, and a lot of people were detained and apprehended. We're going to get into that. If you're not familiar with the channel, I want you guys to subscribe. Go look at your notification bell, readjust it to whatever notifications that you need. You want to make sure all your alerts is on for your posts, videos, live stream updates, and more. This is absolutely insane, you know, and I believe that we're getting into the time where people are getting confused. They're creating these fake synopses about these people that were detained during a whole raid in LA, like one of the main guys who was running the construction site, right, hired hundreds of employees, was an illegal immigrant himself. And so he was being discriminatory towards only his people, for only his people. So, which is absolutely insane to me. So let's get into this next segment that we have lined up for you guys. And if you're ready to go, hit that like button, thumb up the video, and support the channel.
Federal agents taking people into custody today at several locations in downtown. Good evening once again, everyone. I'm Colleen Williams.
And I'm Michael Brownlee. Dozens of protesters came out to try and stop federal agents, or at least slow them down. We have live team coverage in place. We begin with NBC4's Amber Frias, who was at a press conference that just wrapped up. Amber?
Hey, Michael, Colleen. Well, the group of dozens of people that we showed you earlier has grown to hundreds of people out here at this press conference that you mentioned. They have taken over the street. In fact, they shut down Los Angeles Street here, blocking traffic. And like you mentioned, we just heard from many different speakers, from people from local community groups, from people from the labor union, and also from people who have family members that were detained, not just today, but in the weeks before. Now, we did speak with one woman, and I do want to share a little bit about her. She tells us that her husband was actually detained this morning after dropping.
I mean, let's just be clear about this. Why are these illegal immigrants protesting about being apprehended by the law enforcement when you're in another person's country? Like, no offense to my immigrants that come over here to America seeking asylum and a better life or the window of opportunity, and they come through America the legal way. Okay, that's fine and dandy. But we're talking about illegal immigrants who have broken the law from the time that they have entered America. Because one key thing about illegal immigrants is the front word that goes in before we get to the word immigrant. It's the word illegal, which is a crime in the United States, which by virtue makes these people criminal. They're breaking a law. They're committing a crime. And for that, they must be apprehended. If it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. And our people has been constantly targeted for miscellaneous things, sometimes not even crimes. So if some people is breaking crimes, not even being looked at and being obviously protected by some type of system, Joe Biden, that allowed these people in, and obviously whispers of some conversation of having them protected. And now that Donald Trump is in position, these immigrants have no protection. I don't know if y'all even seen the banned list of countries that's not even allowed to fly to America right now. There's an outbreak of the new corona, right? The corona virus. I'm not gonna say the V word. So, it's a couple countries that's banned from even coming to America. Why do we not got a full sanction and ban on our country? What country in the world has weak security like this, weak border protection? I mean, we got third world countries that got better border protection than America. And that's absolutely not acceptable coming from an Aboriginal American. And by that, I am a patriot. Shout out to my FBA brothers. We are patriots, and our voice is just as powerful and should be respected as anyone. All right. So shout out to my American Aborigines, my FBAs, my American Indians, the truth searchers and researchers around the planet. This is your brother Aboriginal Power. And we're back at it again. Let's continue.
Dropping off their daughter at school. She tells us he was at the car wash washing his car when all of a sudden federal agents surrounded the area and detained him and others. Here's more on what she had to say.
And it just sucks because, you're heartbroken, like your family, like we have two daughters. Then I know they're not coming home to their dad. And,
Well, that's sad and all, but you can make it right now, lady. You can make it right. You can go back to your homeland and rightfully be with your family. So are you willing to leave your family in your homeland for you to have the American dream. So it boils down to whether or not family relationships and the protecting of your lineage and your customs and protecting your homeland culture is worth it. Obviously not. These people are willing to do whatever to come to our land. And I'm going to get into some more stuff, but we got a lot more
really
lined up
hard. He's
today,
a great
guys.
guy. So he's been here 13 years. It's just like everything else. It's very hard to, actually go through that process. So everybody else in there, like a lot of people, their family members came to the interviews. So it's like, what are we supposed to do?
Now, Michael, when I first met this woman, she was overwhelmed with emotion, and not only
first of all, an interview shouldn't be giving you the right of passage into our country when you came here illegally. See, this is what they think that they can do. They can come into these countries illegally, spread eagle them legs, drop out a little immigrant baby, to anchor themselves here and think that they're going to have birthright citizenship protection. Well, they didn't see the plot twist when Trump is banning birthright citizenship. I told you guys years ago when we seen the dumb nigga mulatto come on our platform, which I agree with the good brother, call ICE. I mean, fuck, what can we do? We're not criminals. These people are criminals. These people are criminals. When they say illegal immigrant, they're doing illegal things. They're breaking the law. They're committing crimes from the time their pinky toe touches this motherfucking land. Seriously. Call ICE. You see a bunch of them at Lowe's. No offense, you guys. And we don't know if all of you are illegal, but guess what? You should be able to show your papers. I know it sounds like Nazi Germany, but we have been invaded by alarming amounts of immigrants. Let me just give y'all the 2023 statistics of immigrants that came in that following year. Over 11 million illegal immigrants was estimated to have come between the year 2023 and the beginning of 2024. At that rate, at 11 million immigrants, illegal immigrants coming in America from 2023, let's just say that happened all the way up to 2026, there will be absolutely no room for Americans to even breathe. The economic infrastructure will be dismantled. Gentrification and neighborhood prosperity will be toppled. Opportunities for Americans that has been striving and working for their entire existence were then being removed automatically to the back of the list. This is what this would have brought. So 11 million immigrants entering America a year is totally not acceptable. And then we've seen the outcry and the concerns from American people from all throughout America. They were speaking on the concerns of immigration. Why are they being allocated to? Why are they being pampered to? I mean, hell, we had our whole government spending millions and millions of dollars on these immigrants that still continue in today. As a matter of fact, the average household of immigrants make roughly around $65,000 to $75,000 a year. That's $25,000 more than the average household. How? When they're illegal immigrants. Let's continue to get into this, you guys. Hit that like button, thumb up the video, and please share the live stream. Get in the comment sections. Let me know at the end of the video how y'all think about this illegal immigrations. Is it okay for ICE to detain them? or should they not even be worrying about them? Y'all get
Because, you know, this just happened this morning, but because she came across this huge crowd, and she says that it made her feel less alone and like she has that support from her community who's standing behind immigrants. Now, we've also spoken with local community groups who tell us this isn't it. They're going to continue rallying for our immigrant community and standing in support of them. That is my report live from downtown Los Angeles. Amber Frias, NBC4 News.
All right, Amber, thank you. During today's raids, the president of SEIU California, David Huerta, was injured.
NBC4's Macy Jenkins live right now outside LA General Medical Center in Boyle Heights, where Huerta was taken. And Macy, you had an opportunity to speak with the mayor in the past hour.
I spoke with her just moments, Colleen and Michael, after she met with David Huerta, the president of California SEIU. She says that she was in the room with him after a few hours after he was detained by ICE. Now take a look at some video from earlier today. This was taken by a cell phone in downtown LA. You can see federal agents creating a barrier around David Huerta as he is on the ground being detained. Now, I spoke with Mayor Bass just moments after she left the emergency room. After speaking with Huerta, she says he was pepper sprayed just before he was taken into custody. Tell me, how is he doing right now?
Well, I mean, he is.
See, think about it. He's one of these people that needed to be detained. He's an illegal immigrant who's hiring a busload of other illegal immigrants. So this means this is bad, man. This is very, very bad, and I'm glad that it's going on. They got him, and I'm glad that ICE is getting these illegal immigrants. I'm glad, you guys. I'm a proud American, and I'm here to protect the infrastructure. I am a patriot of an American. I am the face of America. We are the face of America. And if we don't stand up for it, who will? A lot of you guys have adopted a tether mind state. And I want to ask you guys, a lot of black immigrants that's looking at a lot of these Hispanic immigrants like, yo, are we next? Is the tether class next, family? We're going to get into that conversation in just a second. But before we do that, we will continue the rest of this conversation. Hit that like button,
now,
drop the fire
I spoke
emoji.
with Mayor Bass just moments after she left the emergency room. After speaking with Huerta, she says he was pepper sprayed just before he was taken into custody. Tell me, how is he doing right now?
Well, I mean, he
was pepper sprayed because he was pepper sprayed because he was probably fighting back. Like, let's just be real. We know that. Oh, no, Holmes, you fuck it out of here. I'm not going nowhere. Nigga, you're going to jail. You probably was resisting. Pepper. Well, I wish half of the people that of our kind got pepper sprayed. You know, Sandra Bland, Mike Brown, George Floyd. Why couldn't just a simple pepper spray do for him? Be glad. That's all you got.
is doing okay physically, but I know what really impacted him the most was the emotional trauma of watching parents and kids being separated. There were young children that were there that witnessed their parents being taken into custody, and I think that hit him emotionally very hard.
It's okay. It happens. But you shouldn't be teaching your kids that it's okay to commit crimes and do illegal things. See? You teaching your kids to go into another man's land, commit illegally, it's the parents' fault for letting them even see this type of criminal activity, And the babies ain't gonna save y'all. I'm sorry. Just because y'all coming here having these little illegal immigrant offsprings in America is not gonna save you in today's time. I'm saying get them all. Can we get a hashtag Aboriginal Power? Hashtag get them all. Hashtag get them all. We talking about illegal immigrants. I need y'all to share this on all your social media outlets. This your brother Aboriginal Power, man. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Hit your notification bell because they've been tweaking with my new channel. Let me say this real quick before we get back into this content. This is my original channel, family. It is not in the algorithm. They have been totally tweaking with my stuff. I don't know why they're doing that. Okay, so I can't explain to y'all why they're doing that, but we know that they are. They took my channel for 3 years. I haven't even been in the algorithm, not even searchable, and it's still hardly not searchable now when you type in Aboriginal Power. It should pop up with 34K subscribers, but it doesn't. Okay, so in order to get back into the algorithm, I need you guys to share this around, type in these names, find it, hashtag Aboriginal Power, hashtag, you know what I'm saying, First American, share the live stream. We do appreciate all the support. Let's get back into the content. Yeah.
He is being detained by ICE right now. He's going to go into ICE custody, and we hope to get him out very soon. I don't know the reason why he's being detained, but the point is of what happened today was just outrageous. And what worries me the most is the sense of terror that it creates within the community.
Now, SEIU released a statement calling for Huerta's immediate release from ICE custody, saying, "We are proud of President Huerta's righteous participation as a community observer in keeping with his long history of advocating for immigrant workers and with the highest values of our movements, standing up to justice, regardless of personal risk or the power of those perpetrating it." Now, Bass says she's coordinating a meeting this coming Monday with all of the players, the people who are involved with working with immigrant communities, to come up with a plan to figure out what to do in the future when this happens again. That's the very latest. Reporting live here from LA General, Macy Jenkins, NBC4 News.
Macy, thank you. And of course, there were immigration raids all across Los Angeles today. Federal agents took people into custody at several locations. This one you're looking at here, a garment business called Ambiance in the LA Fashion District.
Yeah, dozens of protesters showed up there. NBC4's Lolita Lopez live in downtown Los Angeles with more for us. Lolita.
Yeah, Michael and Colleen, the gates right here behind me is where we saw two vans coming through there with people inside. It's unclear where anyone was taken, but definitely it was because of this building that so many people descended on this block and at the front of the store on 9th Street and Town Avenue. We're going to take you video to a few hours earlier where this.
Notice that they keep showing you Hispanic news reporters and shit like that. Like what's up with that? You probably an illegal immigrant. Like when it boils down to it, you know, I think that's quite interesting within itself, you know, if you ask me.
This was really intense. What you saw in Amber's location now currently, that's what it looked like here with protesters and folks all along the streets here, making sure that people inside of this store knew that they were out here on their behalf. At the same time, we saw federal agents coming in one by one in heavy vehicles, heavily armed, coming through to make a pathway, blocking off the street here in order for those vans to be able to leave. But it didn't come without some chaos. Take a listen here as one woman tells us about tear gas that she experienced.
There's like a couple people that were just like crying profusely.
Yeah, tell me what happened.
Honestly, it was starting to get pretty aggressive, and people were
pushing. She admitted it. Honestly, it was getting pretty aggressive, meaning these immigrants was getting aggressive over illegal immigrants being detained. Let me repeat this again. Immigrants were getting mad and aggressive because illegal immigrants was being detained. First of all, this is not Latin America. This is North America. We got to understand that.
Honestly, it was starting to get pretty aggressive, and people were pushing. They were pushing back. They're trying to open the gates right now, and I don't know. I guess they threw tear gas to open up the space.
And did it catch you?
Yeah, it caught a lot of us. There was kids, there's dogs, there's elderly people too.
Yeah. But this whole entire operation was really shock and surprise for folks in this community who have started work today thinking it was going to be just another typical Friday. Not so for those folks that were working inside of the Ambiance store and loved ones who had relatives in there who do tell us that they were undocumented fathers that they were surprised here too. They were called to their homes, come to this location, and once they did, they were just desperately trying to get in touch with their loved ones. Take a listen.
I don't really know much. They just called us, letting us know that ICE was here, and I came. I saw him, but they haven't let me speak to him or nothing. I asked for a card, for their number, nothing. They haven't told me nothing.
He's an undocumented person, but let me tell you that he does.
If you wanted to know what you needed to do, lady, and where you need to call, and you should have did that before y'all came into the country illegally. See, now you want to try to go through the proper paperwork and procedures. Oh, what do I need to do? What do I need to call? You should have called before you came. So we called ICE. That's what we did. We ain't got no other numbers. 1-800, you know what I'm saying? 982 ICE. You call ICE.
I saw him, but they haven't let me speak to him or nothing. I asked for a card, for their number, nothing. They haven't told me nothing.
He's an undocumented person, but let me tell you that he does more to the country. More.
Hey, Root Words, share my live stream because my channel is not in the algorithm. So if you can please share the live stream, that's one of the biggest forms of support right now. We do appreciate you. Share the live stream, Root. Sister Betty, Auntie. Shout out to my auntie in the building. If you can share the live stream, appreciate that. That's another huge support form of support. We do appreciate everybody for tapping in. Let's continue to deal with this illegal immigrant ICE raid.
More profit to the country. He has not committed a single crime compared to those felons that are out there still released by a bond. And this man, he has not committed a single thing, still has given a lot to the country, and is still targeted for some reason.
And at least one of those two individuals that you just heard from has legal representation, but they tell me that at this point they have not heard anything from their fathers who were inside of this building. We've seen very little movement since this afternoon when all of that tense and very difficult moments were happening here. That's the very latest from downtown. Lolita Lopez, NBC4 News.
Lolita, thank you for that. Governor Newsom also speaking out about the raids today, saying continued chaotic federal sweeps across California to meet an arbitrary arrest quota are reckless and they are cruel. Donald Trump's chaos is eroding trust, tearing families apart, and undermining the workers and industries that power America's economy.
Well, the U.S. Attorney for the Central District of California, Bill Escalation, was here on set when these raids first started. And he spoke exclusively to us, saying other locations would be part of these raids. Is part of that conversation he had with Conan Nolan earlier today.
There is a nationwide effort to enforce our immigration laws, and there's a step up in enforcement. This is part of that effort. The particular raids you're referencing, my office prepared search warrants for particular businesses where there is probable cause that they're using fictitious documents to employ people. And those warrants were signed by a federal judge, and they were executed on Friday.
Would you say that there's a lot of that taking place, not just in California, but I mean in terms of downtown, but in the farm fields of the Central Valley?
Well, unfortunately, these laws haven't really been enforced for a long time. The prior administration did not enforce these. We have filed just this year 500 felony cases for illegal reentry. The prior administration didn't really do that at all. So you're seeing a step up of enforcement across the federal government on a lot of areas and laws that just were ignored.
Now, our coverage of these widespread immigration raids continues at 5:30 and on NBCLA.com and the NBCLA app. We have a team of reporters gathering new information,
I mean, look at them. They're being snatched up, man. They're doing illegal things, man. How do y'all feel about the ICE raids, man? I really want to get some of you guys' opinion on how you guys feel about the ICE raids that's taking place right now in California. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this whole situation. You feel me? All right, let's get into this next segment, man. Hit that like button, thumb up the video, support the channel. Let's go.
Unrest obviously continues tonight over the immigration sweeps today, these ICE raids. Much of downtown LA is closed off. We are near the detention center where a lot of the people rounded up today have been transported. Crowds are gathering all throughout this area and outside the federal building. Law enforcement personnel in riot gear are keeping a close watch on the tense atmosphere. They've been firing rubber bullets and pepper spray for crowd control at times. As I said, we are near the Metropolitan Detention Center where a lot of the people who were rounded up and arrested and handcuffed today were taken. Clearly, the situation has been explosive and chaotic. Tear gas, flashbangs, angry crowds, and heavily armed and armored U.S. immigration and customs enforcement agents marked a volatile Friday in the heart of Los Angeles during a series of immigration sweeps. Agents swarmed into at least 3 locations looking for suspected immigration law violators. The blowback was fast and fierce, with some protesters jumping in front of law enforcement vehicles to prevent them from moving.
They did need to bring in some backup here.
KTLA was in the air and on the ground during the immigration enforcement firestorm. Footage shows federal agents chasing people in the parking lot of a Home Depot in the Westlake district, not far from downtown Los Angeles. Individuals often gather at home improvement stores looking for temporary work opportunities with customers. Another raid unfolded at a clothing store along Town Avenue in the Fashion District, where agents hauled off multiple workers in handcuffs, loading them into vans, as other agents in riot gear clashed with onlookers in what could be described as a tense standoff. Immigration rights advocates joined the showdown, using megaphones at times to speak to garment industry workers, telling them to avoid signing any paperwork or speaking to federal agents. The activity is the latest roundup in the Trump administration's unparalleled crackdown on illegal immigration. Another ICE raid Friday targeted what appeared to be a clothing warehouse or possibly corporate headquarters building in the South Los Angeles area.
Since this happened today and no one was notified, will this happen again tomorrow? Will it be next week? Will it be next month? It's that sense of uncertainty, fear, and anxiety that is created in our city when this happens.
Back here live where CHP officers have shut down the 101 freeway through this area. This is Aliso Street and Los Angeles streets. Again, a very tense situation continues over today's immigration sweeps. Mayor Bass says she will be meeting with immigrant advocates and the LAPD chief next week to formulate a plan of action moving forward.
All right, we're in the building. What's going on, guys? We're in the building. Round of applause to you. There it is. Thank you guys for tuning in and joining me on the Late Night Tap In. I am Tariq, and I'm ready to chop up great game with the family, as we always do. If you can give me a retweet, that would be absolutely phenomenal. Let everybody know that we are indeed live right now. People are piling on in the room. Much respect to you. Let me shout out some of my regulars real fast. I'm not going to hold you. We got D-Day 666. We got FBA Lamont. We got Valley. We got Mika. We got Ania Saru. We got Miss Skyline. Little old me, Rhonda.
All right, we're about to get into it. But yeah, man, to be honest, man, we've been rounding up these little things for so long, man. We've been rounding up these little things for so long. When you look at back in like history, like when you go back into like history, you really see the fact that we used to really enslave these little things. Like, let me go to some codexes. We're gonna go to some indigenous primary codexes to show y'all. Look, because these ICE raids ain't nothing. We was the original ICE. This is from N.X. Tel Morrison's depiction of the Chichen Itza South Indians and Aboriginals in Central America and the invasion of Eurasians. The Eurasian invasion. And look what happened when we caught these little Mexican, little Eurasian immigrants. What you think we did to them? Round their ass up. Round their little asses up. Where you think you going, sir? Hold on. Right here, look. What you think we did with them? round their little asses up. We've been the original ICE around here. Not tolerating no disrespect to the ancestors. Look, like what you think we was doing with them? Rounding them up. This been going on for thousands of years. I just want that to be clear. So when we saying that call ICE and nigga, that ain't nothing new. That ain't nothing new. You feel me? Let's get back to it.
Get Back. We got Sir Mike, Melanie. We got Noel, Rashonda, Wani Spots, Brother Xavier, Diego, Brittany, D Solan, and the Tethernator in the building, and many, many more. Much respect to you guys. A lot of stuff we're going to touch on. Family, out here in LA, there was some chaos going on. There was some ICE raids, and it seems like there's been some coordinated efforts to put some agitators out on the streets. I don't know if it's some left-wing donors. I don't know if it's some Soros-funded thing. I don't know. I'm not going to put the tinfoil kufi on. But a lot of these ICE raids and these immigration raids, you got some people who are trying to push back a little bit. And out here in LA, it was damn near a little mini riot downtown where people were pushing back against some deportations. Some of the ICE officers, I think they went into a warehouse, and then the owner of the warehouse locked the ICE agents in. Then the police and the FBI had to come, and you
so some work. What happened? How did ICE agents get locked in? And what type of Three Stooges?
You got some people who are trying to push back a little bit. And out here in LA, it was damn near a little mini riot downtown where people were pushing back against some deportations. Some of the ICE officers, I think they went into a warehouse, and then the owner of the warehouse locked the ICE agents in. Then the police and the FBI had to come, and you had all of these masked people kind of destroying property downtown. Then the police came out with the riot gear. I don't know if they arrested anybody, because people are saying that Mayor Karen Bass told them not to arrest anybody. I don't know how true that is, because sometimes the right-wing media, they'll just put out stuff just to be saying it. So I don't know how true that is. I don't want to parrot anything that they're saying. But I just like to kind of stick to the facts. The facts are there was some conflict. People were out there yelling at the ICE agents and the police. They had to pop a couple of folks with the non-lethals and all of that stuff. And my thing is, when we get out here turning up, well, they roll that National Guard out on us real fast. They're not doing that yet. They're not doing that yet. So what does this pushback mean in the future? What does this mean? Because looks like the state ain't going back down. So look, is this going to increase polarization around immigration policies? With this public confrontation, and we're seeing some more public confrontations, will that harden political lines around immigration, not just in LA, but just all over? Should we expect more visible street level battles between some of the pro-immigrant activists and law enforcement? Are the politicians going to be forced to take clearer sides on this? Are we going to see escalation of federal versus local tensions? Will these escalations continue between ICE and some of these sanctuary city type folks? Is this going to provoke some kind of future legal and jurisdictional justification on who's going to control law enforcement and their priorities? Because again, people are saying that Karen Bass has given the word, and this is a very liberal city, Los Angeles. They're saying she's given the word to not arrest anybody. and not to have the full force of law enforcement out there. So, it's a very dirty political game out here. It's going to get very interesting to see how this thing plays out. Are we going to get more militarized policing in these urban centers? The public unrest, that gives LAPD and other agencies a pretext to basically increase militarization, more surveillance, more non-lethal crowd control weapons, armored vehicles. Should we expect more expanded crackdown tactics that will possibly affect all protest movements, not just the immigration-related ones? Is there going to be an erosion of public sympathy? See, people out here just kind of tearing up stuff. Is that going to really sway public opinion against, what's going on? Is this going to be a catalyst for new immigrant rights coalitions? I saw one video, some black dude, I think he was a teacher, and he was talking about all the Hispanics at the school he teaches at, and he's talking about Hispanic people getting gaffled up by ICE, and he's all crying. Okay, this nigga must be married to a Mexican woman or something, the way he acting. What the hell you crying for, Negro? It did wrong. ICE that came, got all these people. This ain't it. ICE getting all these people and taking them away from her. Why ICE doing that? I don't like it. Man, what you crying for? Really, brother? What you crying for? He must have took his little senorita. They done took some pussy away from this nigga. Yeah, you all that emotionally invested. Yeah, damn, man. But listen, what's going to be the future of this thing? What's going to be the future? See, look, this thing ain't really working out. I'm gonna get some calls in a minute. I'm gonna get some calls. I see people want to get on. This thing it's not really working out. The optics ain't working out like they wanted to. It's not like, they always try to compare stuff that they're doing to our civil rights movement. This ain't really got it popping like our civil rights movements. And I'll use the one in the 60s as an example. This ain't really popping off like that because there's not no real balance. It's a few reasons why this ain't popping off like they wanted to pop off. See, back in the 60s, there was a balance. The uprisings were effective because there was a strategic balance between the moral spokespersons and street pressure working in tandem, working together. See, these ICE raid riots and protests, it's not going to work out like that because there's some inherent flaws. Number one, with these illegal immigration advocates, there's no unified moral leadership. See, our movement, civil rights movement, we had clear moral figures. We had Dr. King, Medgar Evers, just so many, Malcolm X. And they gave direction, messaging, and legitimacy to the movement. These immigration protests, there's no recognized grassroots leadership. I mean, who's the grassroots leaders in this thing? The only people speaking up are politicians, and that's coming from the corporate sector. Those are corporate interest people. So you're not really getting that kind of sympathy with this thing. There's no grassroots persons giving moral clarity to the broader public on what the problem is or what their argument is. There's no real cohesion, no coherent national message with these ICE protesters. See, the civil rights protests, they were tied to
what's the gripe behind it? Like, y'all are protecting illegal activity. That's all it is. It's literally nothing more than that. A bunch of immigrants, you feel me? That's protecting illegal immigrants that have been detained for committing crimes or for doing illegal activity. I mean, it's not hard to see what's going on.
Hey, this desegregation bullshit, voting rights, equal treatment under the law. We had very specific demands and messagings there. These ICE protests, what's the demand? Like, let us just walk across the border? What's the demand? Look, for real. What's the demand? Just let you walk across the damn border just willy-nilly? Ain't nobody really going for that. You see? Stop the raids. Okay. And for what? That's the messaging. Stop the raids. No. Yeah, there's no sympathetic audience to that. At least in the 60s.
Right.
The brothers and sisters, they were able to appeal to the conscience of middle America to a certain degree. But it was that threat of the grassroots that was really, really getting them to get some act right. They don't really have a moral high ground with this immigration thing. Yeah, do y'all hear my dog back here snoring, my big fat ass dog? But look, with these immigration protests, hold on, I gotta put these dogs out. My dog's over here sound like a grown nigga who just got off work. Hold on. What's up, Juicy? I see you down there. My dog, what's up, Empress? My dog's over here snoring. Come outside. Hold on. All right, outside. Hold on. All right, hold on. Bear with me 1 second, guys. Bear with me. Oh, let me get Mr. Zulu in real quick. Zulu, hop on in, Zulu. Zulu, hop on in.
Nigga named Mr. Zulu.
Zulu, what's up, man? Caller. Zulu, what's up, bro? Zulu, unmute your mic. All right, Zulu bounced. Okay, well, don't ask to get on. All right, let's get Dr. No. Dr. No in here. Dr. No, hop in.
Dr. No.
Dr. No, Dr. No, Dr. No. Come on, man. Don't raise your hand if y'all don't want to get on. Okay, y'all mess up the flow. All right, let me get you out. If you guys do not want to get on, do not raise your hand. Zulu, are you ready now? Unmute your microphone, Zulu.
I'm back in this bitch. I'm back in this bitch. I'm back in this beach. I'm back in this beach.
Hello. What's on your mind, Zulu?
I'm seeing you still got on the same suit. I've been wondering, did you use the FBA donations to buy that suit from Banana Republic?
No.
Or what?
No, I use that money to dry clean the gorilla fur off your jeans.
Dressed like a bellhop. The nigga dressed like a bellhop.
No, dude. Yeah, I use that to get all of the cheetah sweat off your trousers, nigga. All right, let me get some more people in here. I don't want to get sidetracked. Because I'm still making my point. I do not want to get sidetracked. I'm talking about how, and I wanted y'all to contribute to the conversation now, because this is important. I want to talk about how these ICE raid protests are not in the same vein as our civil rights protests. It's not the same thing because of the lack of balance. There's no balance of nonviolence and street wing. See, in the 1960s, there was a strategic balance of SNCC, SCLC, NAACP, all of these different nonviolent groups, while the grassroots forces like the Deacon of Defense, some of these street cats, they were ready. They were street ready. And they would turn up when need be. And then they would have the moral leaders get on television and explain what the community need. So there was a very important balance. You see, these ICE protests, they don't have that balance. It's just uncoordinated street activity. You got a couple of mass people running around just kind of tearing up stuff. And that's not what it is. There's no real balance to what's happening there. and there's no existing broad institutional infrastructures. Like the civil rights movement, they had black churches, HBCUs, fraternal organizations, civil rights groups that really sustained the movement through years of struggle. See, the immigration protests, they don't have that deeply rooted, organized, any of those national institutions backing the work with consistent discipline and messaging. See, that's the difference. And, you know, right now there's a lot of public fatigue and politicized framing. See, in the 1960s, the media coverage showing the brutal repression of Black nonviolent protesters, see, that built international sympathy. See, that was very strategic to show these upstanding Black people, hey, they're standing there and the white supremacists are attacking them. Now, cats got their lick back in the streets. They didn't show them cats, you know, the youth getting back at these folks. They didn't show that. But the thing is, with the immigration protests, most of the public, they see the issue as like it's a political issue. It's legally ambiguous. It's just all over the place. And the thing is, man, there's a lack of an ethnic group with full national citizenship rights. See, foundational Black Americans, we were citizens fighting for our full constitutional rights. So that made our cause legally and morally clear. These people in the immigration protests, they're undocumented and they ain't citizens. So they really don't have no standing, to be honest. So there's no moral framework. Well, what? It's like, just let me walk up in here and use all your resources. Okay. You don't really have a moral ground. What's your argument? For real, what's your argument? There's no moral ground at all. Just let me mosey across the border. You don't know who's coming over here. We don't know who's coming over here. These immigrants come over here and be killing people and all. No. And then go back. No. Man, there's been some South African couple got into it somewhere on the East Coast. He killed his South African wife. Man, come on, man. This white dude killed the South African woman. Yeah, come on, dude. Come on. These dudes come over here, these Venezuelan immigrants come over here and they're taking over apartment complexes and they're gunning down people. They didn't kill a few sisters in the South. It's all over the place. No, this ain't really working like they want it to work. It looks hostile. It looks like an invasion. Hey, the messaging is, let us come over here and do stuff to you. Yeah. Yeah, they don't, and that's another thing. These pro-immigrant people, they don't really have an MLK or Malcolm X type of voice to unify. See, in the 60s, we had King, Malcolm, we had so many phenomenal people who could speak really across class lines, across regional divides, and they could kind of control the national narrative. There's no grassroots unifying voice that exists for this immigration movement. It's fragmented among corporations, NGOs. It's just all over the place. There's too much media manipulation. See, the civil rights movement, they had time to frame the message before the media could distort it. So these ICE riots are instantly politicized. And immigration is already a deeply polarizing issue. Yeah, see, civil rights appeals, that could
See, and like I said, they're even if they was to use civil rights, it's just like anything else. They piggyback and they use what we have already laid down. And I think that's crucial. That's why I want to play this clip of this Ray real quick. We're gonna get into we'll finish out with letting Tariq get his shit out. But I want y'all to see how big of an eruption this whole thing was that
As
ICE
armed
caught.
federal agents take multiple people into custody during a series of immigration enforcement raids.
The sweeps drawing harsh criticism from state and local leaders as local law enforcement making it clear they were not involved. Good evening, I'm Micah Ullman.
And I'm Cher Calvin. We have live team coverage on this Friday night. Lindsay Pena is in downtown LA. Gil Levis is in the sky as protesters march, and State Assembly member Isaac Bryan is standing by in studio with his thoughts on a heated day of action.
We begin here at 7 o'clock with Chris Wolf outside the Metropolitan Detention Center with the latest details on the immigration enforcement actions throughout the day. Chris.
Yeah, Micah and Cher, unrest obviously continues tonight over the immigration sweeps today. These ICE raids, much of downtown LA is closed off. We are near the detention center where a lot of the people rounded up today have been transported. Crowds are gathering all throughout this area and outside the federal building. Law enforcement personnel in riot gear are keeping a close watch on the tense atmosphere. They've been firing rubber bullets and pepper spray for crowd control at times. As I said, we are near the Metropolitan Detention Center where a lot of the people who were rounded up and arrested and handcuffed today were taken. Clearly, the situation has been explosive and chaotic. Tear gas, flashbangs, angry crowds, and heavily armed and armored U.S. immigration and customs enforcement agents marked a volatile Friday in the heart of Los Angeles during a series of immigration sweeps. Agents swarmed into at least 3 locations looking for suspected immigration law violators. The blowback was fast and fierce, with some protesters jumping in front of law enforcement vehicles to prevent them from moving.
They did need to bring in some backup here.
KTLA was in the air and on the ground during the immigration enforcement firestorm. Footage shows federal agents chasing people in the parking lot of a Home Depot in the Westlake district, not far from downtown Los Angeles. Individuals often gather at home improvement stores looking for temporary work opportunities with customers. Another raid unfolded at a clothing store along Town Avenue in the Fashion District, where agents hauled off multiple workers in handcuffs, loading them into vans, as other agents in riot gear clashed with onlookers in what could be described as a tense standoff. Immigration rights advocates joined the showdown, using megaphones at times to speak to garment industry workers, telling them to avoid signing any paperwork or speaking to federal agents. The activity is the latest roundup in the Trump administration's unparalleled crackdown on illegal immigration. Another ICE raid Friday targeted what appeared to be a clothing warehouse or possibly corporate headquarters building in the South Los Angeles area.
Since this happened today and no one was notified, will this happen again tomorrow? Will it be next week? Will it be next month? It's that sense of uncertainty, fear, and anxiety that is created in our city when this happens.
Back here live where CHP officers have shut down the 101 freeway through this area. This is Aliso Street and Los Angeles streets. Again, a very tense situation continues over today's immigration sweeps. Mayor Bass says she will be meeting with immigrant advocates and the LAPD chief next week to formulate a plan of action moving forward. We will have much more on this breaking and developing story throughout the night. We'll be back with you at 10 and 11 or as needed. For now, reporting live in downtown Los Angeles, Chris Wolf, KTLA 5 News.
Thank you, Chris. From the ground to the sky, Gil Levis overhead as protesters march following today's ICE actions.
All right, Gil, how does it look out there? It looks like they're starting to dissipate just a little bit from earlier.
Yeah, just a little bit, and they backed away from the building itself because the federal officers that are inside the building came out with some pepper spray, some rubber bullets, and some pepper ball rounds that were firing at the crowd as the crowd were throwing items at those officers. You can see that there's a lot of tagging going on, a lot of items that were pushed to that entrance. So this is the back entrance of the Roy Ball Federal Courthouse.
Look at this. This is what happens. illegal immigrants get detained and a bunch of other immigrants start destroying shit that ain't even theirs. Ain't that some shit? Destroying shit that ain't even theirs.
And you can see the group here in the street. They've pushed back quite a bit. Let me come up to the right here where Chris Wolf was just a second ago. As I zoom in here, you can see this just happened. This is LAPD's field force here that has shown up, and they have responded because of a help call from those federal police that made a call out when this first started. Now, we did see several rounds of pepper balls being shot at the crowd at that point, the crowd running back away from the building being tagged at that point, and then we still see these protesters throwing items into that entrance area, and when they do get close, we do see the federal police coming out and using their pepper spray to spray at the crowd. That's the latest overhead up in Sky 5. I'll send it back to you in the studio. All
right, Gil, thank you. From the air to the ground, Lindsay Pena has reaction for us tonight. Lindsay.
Yeah, that's right. We're just down the street from where Chris Wolf was. We're on Temple, around the corner from the federal building, and we were actually at that rally and then subsequent march a little bit earlier. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of.
Now look at all these look at all these immigrants protesting for illegal activity. Come on, man, call ICE. Call ICE. Don't even hesitate with them. Call ICE. I don't even know why y'all still sitting around playing around. Call ICE. If you see a bunch of them huddled up, you know what they doing. They up to no good. They up to no good, family. We got to know that. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
That video, you just heard a description of what ended up happening during the march, but most of that rally was peaceful. A lot of people coming out in support of those who were taken into custody during the raids today. We were actually able to talk to one woman who says her husband was one of those people. He was taken into custody at a Home Depot in Westlake. Now, she tells me she was able to see him for just a few minutes earlier today. She had to tell her two young daughters their father won't be home tonight.
I explained to her when we picked her up from school with my sister.
I explained to her. I don't want to hear this shit.
Hey, yeah, Lindsay, thank you. With more on the raids, we're joined by California State Assembly member Isaac Bryan. Isaac, thanks for being with us. Let's start with the basics. Your reaction to what you saw. I understand you were downtown today.
I'm mortified. I'm embarrassed for our country. I'm ashamed for our federal leaders.
Man, nigga, you only mortified because you barely made it by 2 generations. You almost was a birthright citizen, baby. An anchor baby. Them your cousins that came over here illegally. I don't nobody care about you being dissatisfied. We could give a rat's butt. Don't give a damn if you dissatisfied. Shut your Hispanic ass up. No offense to my Hispanic brother. Shout out to Juan Torres. That's a good brother.
And I'm hopeful still because Los Angeles has rallied together. The people of California are rallying together. In times of crisis, we hold each other. And this is a crisis. It was a crisis that didn't have to happen. The federal government is deciding to act tough on the people of Los Angeles instead of solving the tough problems that are being created by.
Act tough. Nigga, these are illegal immigrants. These people are coming through here. Excuse me. These people are coming through with drugs. They coming in from mental hospitals. They getting released from prisons. These are sex offenders, murderers, kidnappers. These immigrants, is he a fool?
We hold each other, and this is a crisis. It was a crisis that didn't have to happen. The federal government is deciding to act tough on the people of Los Angeles instead of solving the tough problems that are being created by their economic insecurity.
One of the people detained, a friend of yours, you actually posted on X that David Huerta.
Oh, makes sense. That's why he mad. That's why he mad. Your best friend, who's an illegal immigrant, was picked up. That's why you mad, little buddy. It makes sense. See, this is that propaganda news shit. That's why y'all need to subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to Aboriginal Power, man. We're gonna give you the news you can use. You understand what I'm saying? Subscribe to Aboriginal Power. You understand me? We're gonna give you the news you could use, goddamn. Because he's biased. He's only mad because his best friend was picked up.
Los Angeles instead of solving the tough problems that are being created by their economic insecurity.
One of the people detained, a friend of yours, you actually posted on X that David Huerta was detained this afternoon, and he's a friend of yours, like you said. Tell us a little bit more about him. What happened? We understand he was also injured in the process. What went down today with David Huerta, who is the president of the SEIU local?
Yeah, David Huerta isn't just a friend and mentor to me. He's a friend and mentor literally to thousands. He organizes workers who clean and protect commercial spaces in Los Angeles. He has cared about the most vulnerable in Los Angeles and in the United States his entire life.
Oh, so he's a janitor. Yeah, that's his boyfriend. No offense, little dude. You mad because your boyfriend, who was a chief coastal janitor, he's an illegal immigrant. What you think he was going to do? Talking about he's a cleaning engineer. Nigga, he's a janitor, a custodian. No offense, bro. Your boyfriend is a janitor. And you mad. You should have told him to go the legal way.
Yeah, David Huerta isn't just a friend and mentor to me. He's a friend and mentor literally to thousands. He organizes workers who clean and protect commercial spaces in Los Angeles. He has cared about the most vulnerable in Los Angeles and in the United States his entire life. He's been honored and recognized by...
Look at this. Look at these little violent immigrants fighting the army. Look at these. Get them all. They're violent.
In Los Angeles and in the United States his entire life. He's been honored and recognized by previous presidential administrations. He was observing and documenting what was happening today, because that's what happens when you hear of a crisis on the ground. You go towards that crisis and make sure people are protected and safe. And in the meantime, he was brutally taken down to the ground. He had his head smashed against a curb. Ironically, part of the video that was left out by the feds releasing their version of the video, they left out the brutality that sent him to the hospital, where he remained detained until just a few hours ago, where he was released from the hospital, but still in ICE custody.
U.S. Attorney Bill Escalation of the Central District, which includes Los Angeles, has indicated on social media that David Huerta was actually blocking access to federal agents trying to carry out the raid. And that precipitated all of what you described. Your reaction to that?
Cops lie about obstruction all the time. ICE agents lie even further. That means he did nothing wrong, and you can't think of a single reason to hold him. So you came up with the most bogus charge that you could. He will be released. We will demand that he be released. We will organize until he's released. He will come home, but this didn't have to happen.
Nigga, you cannot demand a release. Who you think you is? Chelsea Clinton? Huh? Daniel Rumsfield? Who you think you is, man? Donald Rumsfield, man. Come on, we're going to demand his release. Who you think you is, man? Pablo Escobar, you is a Hispanic. So you probably is with one of them organized crime syndicates. You know, y'all all organized criminals. Talking about you going to demand something. You got eyelashes on.
We will demand that he be released. We will organize until he's released. He will come home, but this didn't have to happen. And I don't know what the state of his health is after being slammed to the ground like that. This did not have to happen. This is wrong. We have to do all that we can to push.
See, his health is okay. He probably hurt a little bit, but his health is okay. He just was, you know, you get slammed for resisting arrest, it happens. We can't lie about that. It really happens. What can we say? Stop resisting arrest.
But this didn't have to happen. And I don't know what the state of his health is after being slammed to the ground like that. This did not have to happen. This is wrong. We have to do all that we can to push back. And I'm praying for the 45 other people who have been detained unjustly. And we have no idea what kind of bruises they had, because they're not influential labor leaders, but every bit as much important to me and all of the people in the streets of Los Angeles right now.
Yeah, you posted on X, again, you're very active on X today about this, saying that when they come for Los Angeles, that's when we stand up and show what true solidarity looks like. So talk to us about what solidarity looks like and what is your call to action for people watching.
I think it's kind of crazy that they would execute this kind of raid in Los Angeles the same day the president is talking about withholding our own tax dollars from us, right? Instead of helping the 1 in 8 Americans who live in California, they're demonizing our state and
Look at them.
helping the 1 in 8
Look at them, violent. Just a bunch of violent immigrants. Trump need to double up and put more power into this illegal immigration and immigration control. I don't think he got enough power. I think he should allow American-born, American-raised, American-made militia groups organized and funded by the government to help control this. Let the people formulate their own groups to control. I bet we get it done. I have a U-Haul full of them. A U-Haul.
Americans who live in California, they're demonizing our state and attacking our people. That is when we rally together. We rallied together after the LA fires and during the fires when we provided mutual aid and resources for people who need it. Now seeing our brothers and sisters unjustly detained, terrorized, and scared, we will step up. We're tired of seeing our kids in our schools detained. We're tired of being afraid. If all you have to do is attack folks at home.
Hey, Smoke, I see you in the chat. Do your homie a favor. Share the live stream. They've been tweaking with my channel. It's not in the algorithm like that. I need you to share the live stream. Hashtag Aboriginal Power while y'all
depot, then you're not doing a great job of governing this country.
You also called this brutality, saying that if you're black or brown, you are the target of this administration. Mayor Bass saying today the raids were spreading terror. Is that a type of fear-mongering that may not be the most beneficial right now?
No, it's calling them out on a lie. They said they're going after criminals, but there are no criminal charges against even folks like David Huerta. Obstruction, that's the criminality from a guy who's on the...
Obstruction is a crime. It's a physical crime. Obstruction means you physically stop or block someone for proceeding their investigation or act of one. In this particular case, that is obstruction. It is a physical case. You can't talk and do it. You just can't say something to them that's not obstruction. You have to physically be in the place. So he did commit a crime. And the illegal immigrants that he was obstructing the officers to get are automatically doing something illegal because their whole name is illegal immigrants.
Epstein files, according to his longtime friend Elon Musk, there's real criminality happening in this country. It's not the everyday people who are working to provide a meal for their family, working to try to build the American dream that we've promised to those who have needed safety, refuge, and asylum around the world. This is pathetic. This is not strength. This is weak. We can do better.
You just mentioned the administration saying that they are going after criminals. This, as an AP poll in April, found that 46% agree with the president's handling of immigration, and less than half say the deportations have gone too far. So your response to the president and those poll numbers?
Well, it sounds like a majority did not agree with the president's decision, unless 46 is more than half, and I'm getting my math wrong. This president is switching policies every single day. There's nothing consistent about him other than his Twitter fingers will be working, and he will attack anybody who criticizes him, even folks who have donated hundreds of millions to his campaign. But we also know that he will chicken out of any serious policy discussions. We have work to do, but that work starts in everyday communities. It starts here at home, and it starts in the communities of Los Angeles.
You see a live picture now of the Roybal Federal Building. We have been describing protesters that were trying to gain entry into what looks like the ground floor parking area. They were met with less lethal rounds. LAPD was called in to provide assistance for the folks there, the federal officers at Roybal. What do you make of what you see here? I mean, a large number of the people that were here trying to get in have since dispersed, but your reaction to what you're seeing here?
This is what fear mongering looks like. This is ginning up a crisis to justify the harm that you want to inflict on California. You want to take the $680 billion that Californians pay to the federal government and withhold it from us. We already subsidize many states across this country. We pay $680 billion. We only get 600 back. They are after us and they want to justify it. And that's why they are terrorizing the people of our communities.
We are here in Los Angeles, deemed a sanctuary city, California, a sanctuary state. This does not look like that right now. But how does that clarification play into what steps are taken?
I have never known sanctuary to be a bad term. That is where you go for refuge and safety. It's a religious term at its core because you were always allowed to go to religious institutions in times of crisis. That just means the people of LA have a right to be safe. And our state and our city will do everything they can to keep them safe. I am sorry, Los Angeles, that your city leaders and your state leaders, we could not stop this federal administration from terrorizing us today. But we will come together and we will fight back.
There's graffiti on the walls there. I don't know if you've been watching the minute by minute of all of this. What's your reaction to what we're seeing there in terms of defacing federal property? And by and large, this was peaceful, but there were a handful of people there that were threatening something less than peace, at the very least. What's your message to the folks on the street that are still out there tonight?
This has been overwhelmingly peaceful, but graffiti is the voice of folks who feel unheard. We can paint over walls. What we can't do is heal the families that have been destroyed that were played earlier in today's coverage, right? The folks who don't know what to do, the children who are afraid to go to school, the folks who were injured today by ICE and by police brutality. Those are lasting scars. That is lasting trauma. Graffiti is not at all my concern. And I was in those streets. I saw nothing but people rallying and chanting and crying for help.
Your final thoughts as we wrap this up on what you have to say to the people that are protesting and what you have to say to the government.
Today, it was physical violence on vulnerable communities in Los Angeles. Next week, it'll be economic violence for all people in California. We cannot let this stand. We have to organize and mobilize. And that is exactly what Los Angeles and Californians are known to do.
California Assemblymember Isaac Bryan, thanks for coming in and talking with us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Now at 11, chaos erupts as armed.
This shit is sick, man.
Federal agents conduct sweeping immigration raids across Los
these little violent
Angeles. Good evening. I'm Micah Ullman.
And I'm Cher Calvin. Dozens were arrested during the sweep as angry protesters clashed with federal agents on the streets of downtown LA.
The surprise raids took place this morning, but the chaos continues into the night as hundreds face off with police. It all began at a Home Depot and then in LA's Garment District as federal agents used flashbang grenades to clear the protesters who were trying to disrupt the operation, targeting undocumented workers.
We have live team coverage of the raids and the protests. Lindsay Pena has reaction from the immigrant community, but we're
going to come back to this segment because I do want to highlight the propaganda behind this whole anti immigration protest, this whole anti-immigration or anti-ICE raid protest. They're all protesting against ICE, right? But break down why is ICE even pursuing these people. You see what I'm saying? That's the key. So let's get right back into this Tariq conversation.
See, the civil rights movement, they had time to frame the message before the media could distort it. So these ICE riots are instantly politicized. And immigration is already a deeply polarizing issue. Yeah, see, civil rights appeals, that could unify a broad spectrum of Americans who really believe in fairness and equal treatment. And immigration, that's an issue where, people just simply disagree about the scope of open borders. People just don't want open borders like that. So the civil rights movement, it succeeded. It was more disciplined. It was multi-pronged. It had clear leadership, institutional backing, moral authority, strategic use of street pressure. Yeah, see, this current ICE riot stuff that's going on, it's just it lacks balance, it lacks cohesion, no real narrative control. And then people out here just tearing up shit, and it's like, okay, that's not okay. You want us to let y'all over to tear up more shit? You understand? Is this we got Bushmeat Barrister in here. Let's get Bushmeat Barrister, hop on in here. He's an immigrant. Let's hear from one of their fellow immigrants. Bushmeat.
Yeah, yeah. What's up, Tariq? You're all wrong. First off, you said that there was no leader um, for the immigrant movement back in the day when immigrants were fighting for each other. There was a name. I'm pretty sure you heard of his name. His name is Cesar Chavez. He was one of the main voices for immigrants during that
I'm
time of
talking
the
about
civil rights
now.
era.
You're missing the point. I'm talking about now,
You're talking about leaders of the past as well.
I'm talking about
So,
now. I'm
the,
talking about now, you idiot. I'm talking about
but the
now,
and the other
now. I'm talking about right now. Who's the leader now? You be missing the point. Well, I thought you had a high IQ.
I do, but
No, no, no,
the other thing is that Dr. Claude Anderson
no,
specifically.
no, 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 no. Now you're not gonna sit here and just talk all willy-nilly. No. Now, right now, with all of these immigration protests, who's the leader right now?
Who are the leaders of the
I
current
didn't
movement?
ask you that. I asked you who's the who's the leader? Who's the leader of the immigration thing right now?
There doesn't need to be a leader.
Well, then it's all over the place. That's why it's all over the place. Nobody's arguing anything what the hell do they want? What do y'all want?
Again, I'm going to talk about
No,
Dr.
no,
Claude.
you ain't gonna deflect, Tether. This is what I'm saying. This is why they about to roll the National Guard out. This is why they getting your family up out of here. What the hell do you want? What are you out here protesting for? Go, just real simple. Y'all can't really articulate it.
Basic civil rights, humanitarian
No, no, no,
rights,
no,
the
no, no,
ability
no.
to
You get civil rights in your homeland. You're not, no, no, no. You're not a citizen here. If you came over here illegal, you're not.
every
No, no, no,
person,
no, no. If you come over here, you're not afforded any rights just because you moseyed across the border. You're not a citizen yet.
regardless of their citizenship.
They're what? Come on, get that phone, Janky. Hold on. Go ahead, Bushmeat.
Every single citizen, whether they're like every single person who lives in the United States the
You
USA,
can't even get
they
that out.
are entitled to civil basic due process.
Oh,
They could be an immigrant. You could be an illegal an illegal
you can't
resident.
even
You
get that
could
shit.
every person is entitled to due process in this country.
Yeah, right. And that part of that due process is getting your ass up out of here.
No, it's
Yes, it
not.
is.
It's basic
That's why
civil.
they're getting them out of here. That's why they're around.
They shouldn't have to ride. They should lay down their own blueprint. They shouldn't. We should not allow everyone to use our templates and our ladder to get up to the next level when we need our ladder. Our people need our ladder. They need to get the resolution is coming here the right way. You're a fucking illegal immigrant.
To due process in this country.
Yeah, right. And that part of that due process is getting your ass up out of here.
No, it's
Yes, it
not.
is.
It's basic
That's why
civil.
they're getting them out of here. That's why they're rounding some of these people up, some of these criminals. We don't know nothing about these folks. They're rounding them up and getting them the hell up out of here.
Dr. Claude Anderson also said that black people are next, that black people are going to be shipped back to Africa. That's what he said, that because black people are not the biggest non-producers in this country.
Bro, we're not going to Africa because we're not Africans. Like, what is wrong with you slow dudes? Like, I'm tired of this. We're all from Africa conversation. It's totally baloney. It is baloney. Like, what the hell is this? Dang, my bad.
They're rounding them up and getting them the hell up out of here.
Dr. Claude Anderson also said that black people are next, that black people are going to be shipped back to Africa. That's what he said, that because black people are not the biggest non-producers in this country.
Ain't nobody about to
That
get
they
shipped to no Africa. How are we gonna get shipped to Africa?
that's what Dr. Claude
Okay, then you
Anderson said,
explain.
because
Then you
Dr.
explain.
Claude Anderson
Then you
said that
explain how they gonna do that and where in Africa. Where?
somehow, some way,
Okay, that's just
they are going to find a way to ship black Americans back to Africa because black people in America do not produce.
how, how, how.
The government will find some way, but I
No, they're
really
not.
do see, yes, they
No, they're
are. I
not.
guarantee they're going to
No,
find some way to ship black Americans
no,
back to Africa.
where?
They are.
That,
They are.
they're
So
not. They're not. Number one, there ain't nowhere to send us over there. Number one, you can't denationalize people. That violates too many international treaties and laws. Second, we ain't gonna go for that. You think we gonna?
Dr. Claude Anderson is way.
You think we gonna go for that? You think we gonna go for that?
Dr. Claude Anderson
No,
is way smarter than you, and he specifically said that's what's going to happen.
Dr. Claude Anderson ain't here. If I want to talk to him, I'll give him a call. I'm talking to you. Don't hide behind Dr. Claude Anderson as a deflection. I'm asking you how that's going to work. You can't even.
I'm not sure, but
They're right.
talk to
It
him.
won't work. You just talking. You want us to be scared like you. Ain't nobody about to take us nowhere. We ain't about to go nowhere. Let me get my brother Nas in here. Nas, hop on in, please. Bushmeat talking about we gonna get shipped to Africa somewhere. Where we going in Africa? Brother Nas, hop on in, brother.
Yeah, he crazy. But I just wanted to pop in, Tariq, and let you know he's talking about Cesar Chavez. Cesar Chavez was against illegal immigration. So I don't know what the hell this guy is talking about. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to let you know that he was against it. So
Damn, Bush,
yeah.
shit, Bushmeat, come on, man. You getting god damn, but you get debunked so damn fast, boy. Oh, Bushmeat. Oh, let me get Robbie in. Good grief, Bushmeat. We get tired of debunking your ass. Nobody about to get shipped to no damn Africa. Brother Robbie, hop on.
What's going on, Brother Tariq? Can you hear
I
me?
can hear you, brother. How are you?
Yeah, it goes back to what you're saying, which is why these protests are failing, because there was authenticity, just like with our music. You can feel our passion, and we actually have a righteous cause, and we don't, take a day off when it comes to standing up for justice. You can't try to be a part of racism, white supremacy, and then claim you want to dismantle it just because you're getting some goodies and set asides taken away. And I think that's really what it is. So the demonstration that they're putting on, it looks desperate, it looks disorganized, and it's teetering a little bit on anarchy because I see some of those like little left wing guys getting out
Yeah.
there. Some of them look like operatives. So it just kind of looks like it's a mess. And what I think they're trying to do is try to virtue signal and get black people, saying to get a tug at the heart, be like, look at the children, look at the human rights issue. What would Martin Luther King do? What would Jesus Christ do? You know what Martin Luther King and Jesus would do? He would say, sit down, get your popcorn, because none of these people have come to bat for us. They have contempt, like the gentleman that you had on stage previously. Every time he speaks, it just makes my stomach turn because these people, you can hear the gleeful, like wickedness and contempt, like they want to drag us down when we've opened the door for so many people. So, like I said, everybody wants to be a part-time minority to get full-time benefits. And when it comes time for literally the blood, sweat, and tears and moral equity that our people have put into this, to the fabric of this country, that's something that can't be contested. So they're going to have to, in other words, they're going to have to, like you say, have their leaders. They're going to have to step up and pay the price for freedom if they want it. They're not going to get us to just do it and they can just benefit from from all of our hard work and all of our sacrifices. And I'll land my plane.
My man, I appreciate you, Robbie. Yeah, the Bushmeats and these people trying to scare us into going along with this nonsense. You niggas are going to be next. You're going to get sent to Africa, nigga. No, we're not. We ain't in it. We're been it, and we ain't in it. Y'all not going to scare us to get involved. They want to drag, because this stuff ain't going nowhere. Well, see, family, foundational Black Americans, we have always been the secret sauce. Don't none move till we get involved in it. Don't none have no legitimacy until we get involved in it. Don't none have no moral ground or no moral standing until we get involved with it. That's why they always want to drag us into their mix, and we are good right now. We done too much for everybody. It's okay for us to sit our asses down and let everybody else handle their business. It's okay. Because see, the thing is, we've done too much for folks to the point where it's taken for granted. So yeah, we've smartened up collectively and said, hey, you know what, we're gonna chill out a little bit. We're gonna kind of focus on what we need to get done for our specific lineage. We're really gonna prioritize that right now. We're gonna make our lineage the priority.
Hey, Bushmeat Bannister is diabolical, by the way. Bushmeat Bannister is diabolical. It's just the way these immigrants think, man. I think it's totally absurd. I'm gonna get into this next dialogue. I got these immigrants in here. I think this will be a good conversation for us to get to piggyback right off of. So hit the like button, thumb up the video, support the channel. We're gonna keep this going for a little bit. This your brother Big Original Power. We're live, man. We're live. We're live. Subscribe, hit that notification bell, readjust your notifications and your alerts, man. The original channel is back. It was terminated for 3 years, but we're back, man.
And
We're
Zulu
back
Warrior,
on the original channel, y'all. Let's go.
Mr. Zulu, hop on in. Zulu, where you at? Unmute your microphone. Zulu, where you at? Okay, I think he might be in the middle of getting some Postmates orders in. Mr. Zulu, I'm going to give you 5 seconds. Oh, he went down. He'll come back. He'll come back. Or he's trying to get back on. Okay. Zulu Warrior, hop on in.
He's hacked my Wi-Fi, so I couldn't speak the truth.
Oh, no. Your forehead was in the middle of it was blocking the satellite. That's what that was.
Prove it.
Right. Well, some of those 5G waves, it couldn't get past that damn hairline in that head.
Now my dreads hang all the way down to my shoulder.
No. That's not dreads. That's a monkey tail.
This is dreadlock.
That's a monkey.
You are jealous because your bald ass can't grow
those
hair.
are monkey tails, my nigga. That's not, no, you stole that from a monkey and sewed it in. And that's different. No.
You know damn well your bald
got a
ass
monkey lace front. That's not the same thing as dreadlock.
Your bald ass could never grow hair this long.
Nigga. No.
Tariq the freak.
No.
I see you bought a new suit.
I did what? I bought a new suit.
Them FBA donations are working out, man.
And it's not musty like yours. So that's the great thing about me.
I smell like Chanel. I smell like Burberry. I smell like Louis V. Louis Vuitton.
No.
I smell like designer.
Yeah, you smell like a zebra. No, that's
prove it.
Yes, prove it. We know what you smell like, brother.
I smell rich as fuck.
No, you smell like a newborn rhino. Where you just
hell no.
You smell like rhino afterbirth.
He said he smell like a newborn rhino. I'm weak, bro. A newborn rhino has to be the most unhinged thing to say.
Designer.
Yeah, you smell like a zebra. No, that's
prove it.
Yes, prove it. We know what you smell like, brother.
I smell rich as fuck.
No, you smell like a newborn rhino. Where you just
hell no.
You smell like rhino afterbirth.
And you smell like a jail cell.
No. Smell like Sally Struthers breast milk, nigga. You've been suckling white missionary titties, nigga. Get out of here.
No, you smell like you eat Salisbury steak, broke ass young man, cheap ass young man, cheap ass suit wearing young man.
No.
You need to get more expensive suits like me. You see, the hat is Chanel, the shirt is Burberry.
Expensive because you had to kill the damn giraffe with your hands to sew the damn giraffe skin pants on. So yeah, of course.
If I can kill the giraffe, it's a sign of high testosterone. Right. It means I'm an alpha.
Yeah.
Your bitch ass could never kill a giraffe. Look at you. You look soft as fuck.
It's called a grocery store, nigga. I don't have to kill animals in the.
Hey, Tasco, you gotta shoot me the link when he go live in Spaces. I don't never get the notifications. Shoot me the link next time.
You look sassy as. You look like you can't even hurt nothing. You can't
No,
even hurt a
the one
fly.
over.
I can kill a lot
You
of.
are the one wearing a cheetah print thong and some flip flops at the green card office trying to do something strange for a little change. That's you, sir.
No, that's gay as. I would
That's
never.
you, sir. You know, you do other things besides eat egusi with that mouth. You out there
Don't put that gay shit on
letting the
me.
white man know that you are single and ready to mingle. That's,
Don't you dare put that gay shit on me, you accuser. I would never be a gay. That's FBA culture. Look at Lil
well, you done dropped some foo-foo on the phone and it got mute. I didn't mute you, sir. That's you.
being gay is FBA
Oh,
culture. Look at the biggest rapper, Lil Nas X. He's FBA. Who else? Who else does that gay shit? It's all
no,
you.
we seen some of your artists switching across stage. Burner Boy be kind of throwing his hips a little bit too much. So what's going on with your artists over there?
Burna Boy is from Nigeria. If she's from Nigeria, she has bacteria. So that's different. That's different. I'm not from that village.
Now that was a good one. That was one. All right. All right, Mr. Zulu. Oh, I hear baby pandas and shit in the background. All right. Oh, that's
Thank you,
funny.
Tasco. Appreciate it, gang.
Oh, goodness. Okay, let me get some more folks in. All right. Let's get YNS season. YNS season. That's who we're going to get, YNS season. And I'm not going to hold y'all too long. I got to kind of get up because my son has a ball game tomorrow. So I got to get some rest. YNS, hop on in.
Hey, what's going on,
Hey,
man?
YNS, how are you, sir?
Hey, I'm chilling, bro. What about
I
you?
am cool. Now, where you from with that accent, brother?
Hey, I'm from Canada, brother.
Okay. By way of what? Where's your family from?
What type of question is this, bro?
Lord, we like to know who we're talking to. That's all. It's not.
I'm African,
Okay,
brother.
what part of Africa is your family from?
North Africa.
Morocco, Libya, Algeria.
The second one, brother.
Libya.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are you from, brother?
Okay. I'm a foundational Black American, so you know where I'm from.
Hey, respects, brother.
So that means you're somebody say you're Somali, because yeah, you kind of have a Somali accent. Yeah, I don't think you're from Libya.
How can you tell by like an accent, bro? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I don't think a lot of Libyans are in Canada, but a lot of Somalians are. So YNS, what's on your mind?
Hey, man, I got this new coin started up, stuff like I don't know if I'm allowed to even demote that on your channel. So
Promoting it because I don't know if it's a scam. I don't know what
it's
we don't
not
want to promote anything that I'm not familiar with. We're not going to promote that.
for sure. But if you really want, you could do research. I'm looking for like partnerships, like making some deals. You could search up sugar. It's one of our old coins. Just do a $ sugar. You'll see it on Dex Screener. It's at a 20 million market cap still today.
All right.
And then yeah, we're just trying to build it up, build some connections, maybe talk with you about anything.
Well, no, you go ahead and do your coin. Or you go do camel coin or whatever you need to do, and just keep your thing pushing. All right. I don't know. Yeah, I'm cool. Oh yeah, we cool, brother. Yeah, I'm about to run no scam over here. All right, let's get Dark DJ Silly Man. DJ Silly Man. DJ Silly Man in the building. Where you at, Silly Man? All right, DJ Silly Man.
My apologies. I was hopping off my Bluetooth, so it wasn't staticky. How you guys doing
Hey,
tonight?
good, brother. How are you?
Good, doing well. I'm sitting in Jersey waiting on surgery.
Oh, what's going
Uh,
You waiting on surgery? What's going on? You all right?
I got injured by the Williams Company on fighting the Industrial Commission. It's kind of funny because it's my wife's last name, and she's a little darker hue than me. I'm just a hue of a man. Looking for some love.
Okay, sound like you've been drinking or smoking something. So what's on your mind, bro?
Not drinking, just smoking for the pain.
There you go. Anything else on your mind?
Yeah, trying to get off the weed by like June 6th would be nice.
Okay, well, you had to go to rehab. This is not a rehab now. Thank you. Get your little 12-step program. Yeah, this is not a 12-step program, brother. Yeah, get around some folks that you can sit down and talk to. All right. Let's get Shaheen. Shaheen in the building. What's up, Shaheen? Mr. Shaheen, hop on in, sir. Where are you at?
Hear me? Can you hear me now?
Oh, Lord. Shaheen, yes, I can hear you.
Oh, I love you, Tariq. I love you so much. You're just the greatest person to listen late night. I
Yes,
just think you're awesome.
yes, indeed. Now, where are you from, Shaheen?
Well, I'm half Iranian, half American.
Okay.
And I grew up in Saudi Arabia. I grew up knowing Saudi Arabs as being nice people, and unfortunately the US doesn't agree with that, but I love them. And you know, we just need to stick together. Americans just need to stick together and help each other and support each other. And I'm totally supportive of anything that President Trump does. Unfortunately, I'm a Trump pro person. I don't know if that is you or not, but and I love Elon, and I love Elon too. So that's just how I am.
I don't know about
I might be.
him, but Trump, hey, Trump, Trump is doing some cool things. He's doing some things that's questionable. He's doing some, but
Yeah, he does. He speaks out of turn. He does.
yeah.
Honestly, he needs to stop. Just get some public person that knows about how to deal with, you know, talking with other people. He sometimes steps out of turn, but he's still a good president, and he's our president, and I love him. So,
There it is.
I'm loyal to him.
There it is.
But you know what? I
Go ahead.
think your show is so great. I really do. I just sometimes I'm so lonely and lost and missing my kids and all that. And I listen to your show and it makes me happy. And I
Well,
appreciate you so much.
yeah, I love that. I love that so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for tuning in. Let's get Angel. Oh, you all right?
Hey,
Hey,
Tariq.
Angel, you all right over there?
I'm doing pretty good.
What's going on?
I'm not from South Carolina, but I am from
Oh, well,
Arkansas.
shout out to Arkansas. Shout out to Arkansas. How long has your family been out there in Arkansas?
Um, well, my parents were both raised here, but I was adopted.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How old were
So I don't know any of my biological history.
How old were you when you were adopted?
3.5 months.
Wow. 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 That's
Um,
yes, indeed. So what's on your mind, dear?
well, I really respect your show, and the woman agreeing with everything Trump has done, I'm sorry. I can't go for it. I've
Okay.
known that man a long time, and I used to have to visit with him at executive meetings, and man, he's not going to bring anyone up. No one but himself.
Who you met Trump?
Yes.
Let's say you saying you worked with Trump before?
No, I did not work for him. He was in some of the same executive circles I was
Oh,
in.
I see. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay.
No, he had to sit below me at the US Open.
Wow. 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 Wow.
So, and then he bitched about my dog being there.
Wow. Thank you so much, Angel. I appreciate you. Let me get some more people in here. Oh, okay, let's get Boogie Harry. Boogie Harry in the building. Boogie Harry. Hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Mr. Boogie. All right. Boogie ain't saying nothing.
Yeah, bro. What's
There you
up?
go. What's up, bro?
Tariq, how you doing,
How you
bro?
doing, Boogie? What's going on with you?
Ah, bro, everything is like lit, man. But everything is good, man. What time is it there, side?
Like 1:40 a.m. Now, wait, where are you?
1:40. You know, I'm from South Africa, man. But it's about like 10:40 this side in the morning.
Okay. So,
You still have to catch up with me, man. Catch me if you can.
yes, it is. What's on your mind, Boogie?
Uh-huh.
Okay, Boogie. Shit, you ain't.
What's that?
Boogie, damn. Thank you, Boogie. God damn. Y'all. All right. Y'all flowing down the flow. Boogie ain't saying shit. He's over there eating some damn pap. RJ. Let's get RJ. And we had another Democrat shield, and now RJ is here.
You know, when you call me that, I have to call you Republican shield. It's tit for tat.
Yeah, tit for
You know?
tat, but only one person is telling the truth. That's me.
Nah, I'm telling the truth, and you just holding water for Republicans. Well, they crash the economy and they crash the planes and they get people
As a
fired.
projection, you're running you're carrying the soap for the Democrats, and
All right, I like to do Mount Rushmore. And well, who's your Mount Rushmore of revolutionaries, right? I have Mandela, Dr. King, Malcolm X, and Huey P. Newton.
mine is John Horse, Ida B. Wells, Denmark Vesey, and Elijah Muhammad. Those are mine.
Okay, I can give you Denmark and Elijah because they actually are more well known. The other two are less. I'm talking about impactful on the culture that people know. Don't just say stuff people that you like that are like scholarly.
Dude,
I'm talking about.
Horse and the Black Seminoles damn near basically single-handedly stopped slavery in Florida. They were burning down plantations left and right. They were forcing the U.S. government to lose money. They were the ones who had.
Then you can also mention the knights, then the knights of freedom also, then because but they're not as well known. You see, I'm talking about people that are well known.
Yeah, I'm just talking about impact. I know what the impact is. And he
Okay.
went out to Oklahoma, and John Horse was founding black towns out there, very instrumental. Then John Horse went down into Mexico and helped them out. So his impact. And those Seminoles were part of the Buffalo Soldiers. So they were the ones coming out here clearing the brush and expanding to the west and establishing some of the national parks out here. So their impact is long lasting. So I just happen to know the history. See, I mean,
But they're not.
Go ahead.
But they're not taking over. Dr. King. I don't think anyone's holding a candle to Dr. King or Malcolm X.
Yeah, Dr. King, that's kind of a given, but yeah. Now, in your homeland, who are some of the revolutionary heroes do you have in your homeland?
So we have Dr. M.K. Abiola, right? M.K. Abiola. He was like a capitalist rich guy flexer at first, and then he realized, that like that's not all it's cracked up to be, and then he tried to run for government and try to do socialist,
My bad, y'all. My sound was off. I thought I was screen sharing the whole damn time. What the hell? Damn. That's what I was saying. I'll tell you, I get back to this damn time.
Chris Wolf live near the Metropolitan Detention Center where the arrestees are being held tonight. Chris.
Yeah, Cher and Micah, protesters keep shifting locations around government buildings here in downtown LA. We have heard continuous sirens and clamor and the buzz of LAPD choppers overhead with spotlights cutting through the night sky. Police and FBI agents are keeping protesters away from the Roybal Federal Building and the Metropolitan Detention Center, buildings that were earlier vandalized and spray painted. Friday night, downtown LA, as an army of federal and local law enforcement personnel guards government buildings, including a detention center where suspected violators of immigration laws are being held. It's a tense cap-off to an explosive day. Tear gas, flashbangs, angry crowds, and heavily armed and armored U.S. immigration and customs enforcement agents marked a volatile Friday in the heart of Los Angeles during a series of immigration sweeps. Agents swarmed into at least 3 locations looking for suspected immigration law violators. The blowback was fast and fierce, with some protesters jumping in front of law enforcement vehicles to prevent them from moving.
They did need to bring in some backup here.
KTLA was in the air and on the ground during the immigration enforcement firestorm. Footage shows federal agents chasing people in the parking lot of a Home Depot in the Westlake district, not far from downtown Los Angeles. Individuals often gather at home improvement stores looking for temporary work opportunities with customers. Another raid unfolded at a clothing store along Town Avenue in the Fashion District, where agents hauled off multiple workers in handcuffs, loading them into vans, as other agents in riot gear clashed with onlookers in what could be described as a tense standoff. Immigration rights advocates joined the showdown, using megaphones at times to speak to garment industry workers, telling them to avoid signing any paperwork or speaking to federal agents. The activity is the latest roundup in the Trump administration's unparalleled crackdown on illegal immigration. Another ICE raid Friday targeted what appeared to be a clothing warehouse or possibly corporate headquarters building in the South Los Angeles area.
Since this happened today and no one was notified, will this happen again tomorrow? Will it be next week? Will it be next month? It's that sense of uncertainty, fear, and anxiety that is created in our city when this happens.
One demonstrator shouted at authorities tonight, quote, "This is day one of the war." Reporting live in downtown Los Angeles, Chris Wolf, KTLA 5 News.
Chris, thank you. The sweeping raids igniting furious protests and contentious standoffs between activists and ICE agents and police. The detention of at least 45 individuals, including a union president, is the latest chapter in President Trump's escalating immigration crackdown.
Lindsay Pena live in downtown LA with reaction to the arrests from people who have loved ones caught up in the chaos. Lindsay.
Yeah, that's right, Micah and Cher. Now, we're right across the street from the federal building where that rally and protest started hours ago this afternoon, and there is still activity taking place tonight. You can hear people honking, and another crowd has gathered just across the street right now. We did talk to someone who says that her husband was caught up in those raids earlier today, and now she is wondering what will happen to her family.
We have elected officials at every level of government.
Hundreds gathered outside the federal building on Los Angeles Street Friday afternoon following ICE raids at several locations earlier in the day. Among those in the crowd was Dulce Camacho, who tells KTLA her husband was taken into custody near a Home Depot in Westlake.
I was able to see him for 10 minutes. He said they haven't gave him anything to eat. They made him sign some papers. You know, he speaks some English, but he doesn't read it well. So I know he doesn't know what he signed.
Originally from Mexico, she says he's been in the country for 13 years and is undocumented. Now she has to tell her two daughters their father won't be home tonight.
I explained to her when we picked her up from school with my sister, you know, that I've been talking to her every day about this, so she kind of knows. I told her I don't know what we're gonna do, but we're gonna be okay. You know, we don't have a big family, but we have my sister, my brother-in-law, and you know, with that, we're gonna be.
Man, listen. So we pretty much see that this immigration issue is pretty much coming to a head, and I feel like it's needed resolve. Obviously, when something as pressure is applied and it comes to a head, it explodes and the nasty stuff usually erupts and come out of it. And that's what we're simply witnessing. For those that still listening in here now, I want y'all to be in tune tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is 5 o'clock Pacific time. We got the Bro Sanchez interview taking place tonight. So y'all gonna want to be there to get this exclusive interview. Man, this is gonna rock the house, man. Make sure y'all tap in tonight, man. The Bro Sanchez interview is in effect. I'll see y'all later on. It's your brother, Big Aboriginal Power. And y'all already know the vibes, man. We out of here. Peace, love, and light. Tribe up, wise up, rise up. Shout out to all the American Aborigines, man. Drop those fire emojis. Get in the comment section. Like I said, for those that listen, this is not my channel I've been operating off of for the last 2 years. This is my original channel, the one that goes back 7-8 years ago. All the original content. Make sure y'all subscribe, readjust your notification bell, all that good stuff. I'll see y'all on the other side later on at 8 o'clock at the Bro Sanchez interview. It's going to be a banger. If y'all want to support the channel before we get out of here, moderators, drop that Cash App information. You're not obligated, but we do appreciate it. If you want to, you ain't got to. If you want to support the channel way out, go ahead and do so. Moderators, drop that.